Nutritionists and dietitians are going to hate me because what I'm about to show you goes completely against everything they've been preaching. You know what I mean? The calorie deficit and the macro counting and the portion control and those sad little salads that leave you miserable, hangry, and wanting to demolish an entire bag of cookies afterwards. Today, I'm exposing the 4 hacks to fix 97% of overeating and binge eating problems for good. I'm Holly Bertone, former FBI Chief of Staff for Counterintelligence, now known as the Emotional Eating Profiler and Coach. And I've helped hundreds of high achieving women use a brain based approach to finally lose weight without dieting, without calorie restriction, and without spending hours in the gym. And in today's episode, you are going to get the insider's playbook. As someone who's an overachiever, losing weight can be one of the most frustrating things that you do. I mean, think about it. Why is it that with every single diet a woman chases, she may lose some weight, but then she gains it right back? And what's even worse is that unbeknownst to her, every single time she goes on a diet and then she loses the weight and gains it right back, what this does, it affects her metabolism, which makes weight loss that much more harder the next time around. So let's dive into the 4 things that you can do right now to fix 97% of your overeating and weight loss problems. Number 1, focus on the why before you focus on the what. I'm going to break this down for you logically. So follow along. When a woman makes the decision she wants to lose weight, what's the first thing she says? She's like, okay, I need to go on a diet. That's the first thing. So what's the next logical question? Is usually, what diet should I go on? Many type A women struggle with the diet roller coaster because we have this view of the world that if we work hard and we follow the rules, we are going to get results. And this has worked for us and quite well in our professional lives and in our personal lives. We have this incredible career and this incredible family because we worked hard and we followed the rules. But when we want to lose weight, we follow the exact same playbook: work hard, follow the rules. As overachievers, we love to sit in front of the class. We're raising our hands because we know the answers. We did it when we were kids, and we are still doing it today. So, of course, you are going to follow the exact same playbook for weight loss because that playbook has always worked for us in every other situation. Always. Let me ask you, how many times, though, has this playbook of working hard and following the rules, how many times has it actually worked when you tried to lose weight in the past? And especially not just losing weight, but keeping it off. I'm guessing it's slim to none. So the $1 million question is, why don't these same rules apply when it comes to not just losing weight, but actually keeping it off? Would you build a house without a blueprint and a plan? Right? Of course not. What most women do is they look for someone else's weight loss plan to adopt rather than creating their own plan that is best for them. And I get it because there is so much confusing advice and contradictory advice out there. It's eat this and don't eat that. No, wait, it's now eat that, don't eat this. It's all over the place and it's constantly changing, which is exactly why you need to have your very own plan in place. And the first step in that plan, before you even think about any kind of diet or calories or macros, is figure out the why. Why are you overeating, binge eating, or emotional eating in the first place? Most women eat healthy all day long, but then at night, they eat everything in sight. Or they'll eat healthy all week and then reward themselves for being good by binging all weekend long. Most women don't think about weight loss from the perspective of, why am I eating in the first place? And one example of this, and for some women, there is a hidden pattern of the more I eat, the more I weigh. The more I weigh, the bigger I get. The bigger I get, the more invisible I am. So rather than trying to figure out a meal plan, let's address why she needs to feel invisible in the first place. And here's what I want you to remember is that it's not about the food. It's never about the food. It is what the food represents. So let's start there instead. And you might be thinking, okay, Holly, I love a good plan, but how exactly do I implement the plan? That brings us to number 2. Understand this is a brain-based process. Back to the playbook that has worked for us in the past, the work hard, follow the rules. We take that exact same playbook and we throw logic at the problem set of weight loss. We're going to count calories and points and macros. But again, let's get real. How many times is this sad little salad and the calorie restriction and the willpower? Here's why that doesn't work. There are 2 parts of our brain that drive this. So when we overeat, binge eat, emotionally eat, stress eat, whatever you want to call it, this is an automatic and emotional response from the primitive part of our brain. It is called the limbic system. But all of these weight loss solutions and diets and the calories and the macros, those are developed for your logical and strategic part of the brain. It's called the prefrontal cortex. So basically, we are trying to apply logic and strategy and this concept of work hard, follow the rules to a part of your brain that only knows how to respond automatically and emotionally. This is the equivalent of the president of a company giving a state of the business presentation to a boardroom full of toddlers having meltdowns. You can have all of the best charts and graphs in the world, but those toddlers don't care. They are tired, they are hangry, and the only thing they want is comfort. They have this primal need that is not being met, and their world is not going to be okay until that's addressed. So instead of coming at this with diet or calories, you want to go at it with a solution that rewires your response at an emotional level. Number 3 is stop focusing on the scale. The scale is the one single only factor that most women focus on. And I hear things like, oh, well, when I get to a certain weight, then I'm going to be happy. Then my marriage is going to be better. Then I'm going to have a better relationship with my kids. Then my career is going to be better. I can't tell you how many times women come to me with this when then scenario. When I reach a certain number, then I'm going to be happy. Then I have value. These women, they place their value as a human being on a number between their 2 big toes. I mean, the scale is an indicator. It is one indicator. I'm going to give you 3 more indicators, not the entire list, but I'm going to give you 3 more indicators that are going to tell you a more comprehensive story. So the first indicator is metabolic health and longevity. And I'll give you the perfect example of this. That's exhibit A right here. Hello, that's me. When I was in my 30s, I was a competitive mountain bike racer. I was an Xterra triathlete. I weighed 110 pounds. And for context, every time I say that number, I am 5'1". So very healthy weight for me. Anyone who would look at me at that time in my life, they would say that I was the epitome of health. I mean, actually, honestly, I thought that. I had strength, I had stamina, I was fit, I was athletic, I was thin, but I was also a junkaholic, a sugaraholic, a processed food aholic, a 6 cans of Coca-Cola a day aholic. I was anything but metabolically healthy. Now, I can't confirm what exactly caused a back-to-back diagnosis of breast cancer and Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune disease. When I was 39, I was diagnosed with both back to back. But here's the thing. I am a strong believer that my lifestyle of chronic inflammation, being a sugaraholic, eating processed crap food 99% of the time, I truly believe that metabolic dysfunction was a huge contributor. I want you to understand this concept with every fiber of your being. Your metabolic health is more important than your weight. And there are plenty of nutritionists and dietitians that will tell you it's okay to eat the Oreos, to eat the Reese's Cups, to eat whatever junk food you want, as long as it is in moderation and as long as you're in a calorie deficit. They'll say, here's how you can eat whatever you want all day long and stay in a calorie deficit. And there's a huge problem with that. First is that most women can't eat in moderation. Once they have 1 or 2 bites, they eat everything in sight. Prove me wrong. Processed foods, they are chemically engineered to light up the reward centers in your brain. They keep you craving more. And second to this, and totally related, there is a huge difference between real whole foods and foods that they call foods that are actually chemicals. And we have this toxic load that we are carrying every single day from eating these chemicals, and they keep your brain addicted. They go right to your fat cells, which isn't just unhealthy, and it's to your visceral fat cells as well. So it's not just unhealthy, it is blocking your ability to lose weight. I need to give you a hard truth here. The weight loss influencers, they will tell you it is okay to eat as much processed junk food as you want, as long as you are in a calorie deficit. They will tell you that because that is what you want to hear. You want permission to reward yourself. You want permission to treat yourself. You want permission to not deprive yourself. You don't want to hear that this bag full of chemicals is not good for your metabolic health. You want someone to give you permission to keep eating the processed crap food with zero benefits other than a little dopamine hit to make you feel good in the moment. The more you continue to accept this crap advice, the more you will continue to eat the same way. And you may or may not lose weight. But I guarantee you, if this is your long-term strategy, you are setting yourself up for a metabolic breakdown of epic proportions. You can't treat your body like garbage and then think that you're going to be healthy. Your body is going to cash that check. It may not happen today or tomorrow or next year, but it is going to happen. Your body is not designed to detox this flood of chemicals and toxins over a long period of time. So it will catch up with you. That is the truth that no one wants to tell you. That is the truth that does not look cute to the 30-something weight loss influencer on Instagram. When you shift the focus to metabolic health, you are going to burn fat for fuel more efficiently. Your hormones are going to be much more stable. Your body is going to be more resilient to stress, to aging, to disease. And here's what's important to remember is that these days, it's not a matter of how long we're going to live. Most of us have longer lifespans. The question I want you to ask yourself, what is the quality of my life going to be when I'm in my 70s, my 80s, and my 90s? And yes, I know, I get it. It feels impossible to think that far down the road. I mean, you're thinking years down the road when it's hard to see even 15 minutes in front of you. But this right here, this is what separates the women who are living their golden years and they're taking vacations with their families. They're having these vibrant, active lives. And the women who are sitting in a wheelchair in a nursing home, recovering from a broken hip, eating soggy green beans and complaining about everything. And I know chances are there's a good chance there is at least one of these women in both of these scenarios in your life. So use this as an anchor. Ask yourself, do I want to be like Myrtle, who's in her 80s and she's all frail and broken? Love her to death, but she's frail. Or do I want to be like Charlotte, who at the age of 82 is still getting ready to go deer hunting? Love her just as much. And I have no interest in going deer hunting today at 50 something, but you get the point. Use this as an anchor. Use these women in your life as an anchor. Number 2 indicator is lifestyle and sustainability. So we say we want to lose weight and we go on the diet, but the diets are short term because your body goes into starvation mode. You get all hangry and you hate the diet. You hate the sad little salad. And then this creates the perfect storm to quit the diet every single time. But what if instead you focused on creating a sustainable lifestyle that fits you? And you do this by creating a new and improved identity for yourself. And I'm going to give you an example of what this looks like. So let's say you don't smoke. Hopefully you don't smoke. If you do, just stop. If I were to offer you a free pack of cigarettes, what would you do? I mean, you'd probably just say, no, thank you. Why? Because you don't smoke. In fact, you'd probably be like, oh God, that's disgusting. Or We all have a friend who's the runner, who's the marathon runner. What does she do every single morning? She gets up and runs, no matter how she feels, no matter what the weather is. Why does she do this crazy thing like getting up every day and running? It's because her identity is that of a marathon runner. When you become that person who eats healthy, you love this healthy lifestyle, it makes it that much more easier to create sustainable weight loss because you're going to be making better decisions, automatic decisions every single day. So many women who I work with, they tell me that when they're trying to choose a healthier option or they're trying to say no to dessert, what happens is that they have this compelling need to over explain, not just explain, they've got to over explain why they're trying to quote unquote be good. And in doing so, as they're completely losing all boundaries, as they're over explaining, this is creating an environment where everyone around them is like, okay, you're not serious. So what happens? They get pushback. And the second they get pushback, they give in. They have the seconds, they eat the dessert. But in comparison, this healthier version, this 2.0 version of you make these healthier options unapologetically, like saying no to that cigarette, like the marathon runner who gets up every day and runs. You do this unapologetically. And not just that, this conviction that you have is going to help you to stand firm in who you are when those decisions need to be made. And then the number 3 indicator is fat loss in addition to weight loss. So most women, almost all women, they think about weight loss, and that's the only thing they think about. And then they think about the number on the scale, or they think as long as I'm in a calorie deficit, I'm going to be fine. But here's a big difference. So there's fat loss and there's weight loss. Weight loss is the number on the scale. That's the number between your toes. That includes everything. It's water, it's muscle, it's bone density, it's fat, it's everything. Fat loss means you're actually losing body fat while keeping your muscle, your metabolism, and your strength. So a lot of diets, most diets, even the GLP-1s, they trigger weight loss. But this is often at an expense of the muscle and the metabolic health. And that's why so many women, they end up losing weight. But what happens is that they're tired, they wake up exhausted, they don't have any muscle strength, and then they're still carrying around visceral fat. I want you to think about this like spring cleaning your closet. So when you're losing weight, you are literally throwing everything in your closet out, including your favorite jeans and your favorite shoes. But when you lose fat, you are strategic about the process. You're throwing out the socks that have holes in them and the underwears that seem better days and all of the clothes in the back of the closet that are outdated and don't fit that you haven't worn in years. You are only keeping the pieces that make you look and feel confident and fabulous. And that is what the fat loss is. Okay, let's go back to the 4 hacks for weight loss. And we've got the last one, number 4. Not all healthy food is healthy. This is one of my favorites. This might even be a little hard to hear because I had to learn this the hard way. When I turned 49, I gained 20 pounds in what seemed to be overnight. I mean, it wasn't overnight, but it seemed to be overnight. And here's the thing. I was already a health coach. I had already upgraded my healthy lifestyle. So I wasn't as much of a, processed food and junkaholic. I was already eating healthy. I was already doing what they say, everything right. And I was obsessed with making sure that I'm eating all of the superfoods, all of the foods that they say these are the healthiest foods to eat. But this came at a cost. You see, everyone, and I mean everyone, was pushing these superfoods and the healthy foods. And I bought into it because I was a health coach. And at the time, those years ago, I didn't question anything. This was pre-pandemic. So I was not questioning anything. I literally just accepted what the experts said. I accepted it as gospel truth. And that came at a cost. And little did I know that some of these superfoods, they were part of the problem. These superfoods were causing me to gain weight and hold a lot of inflammation in my body. I'll tell you what I did in a second. But if you want the backstory of what happened, go watch this recent episode. I lost 20 pounds in my 50s without dieting to prove it's not luck. And I'll also leave a link in the show notes. I developed a methodology to get to the root cause of these inflammatory foods, and I later coined it intake 17. And it's based on elimination, but it's done in a very specific way. And what it did was it significantly reduced the inflammation in my body. This protocol right here was what made me a 100% believer in individualized wellness because we are all different. The food that's best for me may or may not be best for you, and vice versa. This paradigm shift, it has made me a completely different coach ever since. This is another tool that my clients and students get inside of the Break Emotional Eating Accelerator, and they are getting the biggest breakthroughs because of it. One of the best things that they get to implement is how to step away from all of the noise and the weight loss influencers, and they listen to what their body actually wants and needs, and they are able to practice discernment. This gives them their power back so that they don't have to float from failed protocol to failed protocol. These are skills they will take with them for the rest of their lives. So let's recap what these 4 hacks are for weight loss that most people don't think about. Number 1 is to focus on the why before the what. Number 2 is to understand this is a brain-based process. Number 3, stop focusing on the scale and start focusing on things like metabolic health and longevity, lifestyle and sustainability, and fat loss in addition to weight loss. And then number 4, not all healthy food is healthy. If you've been listening today and you've been thinking about how frustrated you've been with your own journey of losing weight and gaining it right back, you've tried the diets, you've tried to eat healthy, but the snacking and the overeating, it always takes over. I want to invite you to take this next step with me. I want you to imagine what your life would look like when you are no longer thinking about food 24/7. When you walk into the kitchen or open the pantry, there's not that obsessive pull to just eat everything in sight. And that's why I created the Break Emotional Eating Accelerator, where you can dismantle your food cravings at the source in as little as 10 to 30 days and without any kind of dieting or restriction, and for less than the cost of a typical Target run. I'll leave a link in the show notes, or you can DM me on Instagram at holly.bertone, Bertone, at holly.bertone with the word reset, and I will get you everything you need. My friend, it is time to do this once and for all, and with a proven system that's designed for your busy life. So thanks for tuning in. I'm Holly Bertone, your emotional eating profiler and coach, and this is Weight Loss Forensics.